On a date, a guy should talk about things and other stuff, and she talks about herself. And then when she wants to see it, like if you have a nice car, you don't tell her you have a Porsche. When the Porsche pulls up from the valet, she sees it. You don't sit there and fucking reveal it. You know? Yeah, it's a goofy thing that happens a lot.
All that talking, I don't believe none of it.
Yeah, it's so. Which let's go back to that. I want to ask, do y'all know what red pill is?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of that? What is it?
A red pill is a man who is butthurt, who does not let go of their grievances from the past, and thinks that women are not to be respected, are on the bottom of the barrel. Do not trust them or you will die.
Damn. Damn, yeah, for real. What do you think red pill is?
I don't watch a lot of the content, but I guess from what the clip showed, she pretty much hit the nail on the head there.
A bunch of bitter guys.
Unhealed energy. Let's say that.
Unhealed energy. What do you think?
I've never heard of this. Actually, I'm new to this, so please educate me.
Yeah. So the way this all started is like a guy. I mean, there's multiple guys that did, but like the guy that kind of spearheaded the most was Rollo Tomasi. He wrote a book called The Rational Male, and it just talks about biological truths. He got a lot of his stats from another book by Dr. David Buss called The Evolution of Desire, and that book was written. This guy is a professor in UT Austin, and he does tons of studies on intersexual dynamics. You know, like all these stats that I bring up on the show mostly came from Dr. David Buss. I mean, some of them come from the CDC and other things, but a lot of it because his studies were across 37 cultures across the world, and he really tried to prove certain things about men and women. I mean, we're talking fucking tribes in fucking New Guinea all the way to fucking, the Netherlands. Like every type, the most equal societies, up in the Scandinavian countries to the most wild fucking tribes, you know what I'm saying? And he really proved how men's nature is, how women's nature is. I mean, we're talking across the board, not based off of your environment or what makes you who you are or anything like that. So a lot of these studies that we talk about, a lot of it comes back. So being red pilled, they say, is knowing all these stats, knowing all these things. And with that red pill knowledge, you move differently. It's not supposed to be a theology. It's not supposed to be an ideology where like you believe these things and you move a certain way. But sadly, because of how people are, we like to be told how to do things or what to do. We don't like to just be told stats. We like to be told how to move with it also. So we have things like Fresh and Fit, where Myron tells guys to get up to 50 bodies before they take a woman seriously. Like you have these different prescriptions being prescribed to people, telling them to do different things based off of these stats, so the men can be safe. A lot of men get screwed over. I don't know if y'all know this, but men self-delete at 4 times the rate of women. After a divorce, 9 times the rate. Divorces are caused 78 or 70% of the time by women, 90% if they're college educated. So marriage, a lot of things are heavily leveraged against men right now. One of the big things part of my platform and the men that I push is getting into politics so we can change the laws, make it to where we want to get married to y'all, because right now men don't want to get married. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So like so you got to understand there's a lot of hatred in the red pill, but it's kind of warranted. Now should a lot of those guys, have like all that hatred? Of course not. But a lot of it is because they've gone through a lot of trauma. Like y'all were saying, maybe they had a horrible mother. Maybe they were raised by a single mother. Maybe they had like a lot of bad relationships, just one bad relationship. Maybe they're one of those guys that hit the genetic lottery so bad he can't even get a date. He can't even do anything with any women. Those are the type of guys that are in this space. And there's also femcells too. Like you gotta understand, I make fun of incels a lot, these guys that can't get women, but there's also women too that I would consider femcells, and a femcell to me is a woman that can't get a relationship. She can sit there and give out sex as much as she wants, but how easy is it to lock a guy down to make him want to take you seriously? Shit's hard. It's not easy. And there's a lot of women in those situations too. I truly believe that relationship people don't stay single for long because somebody else will see their value. I have to teach these guys all the time that you have to find these women. Sometimes like they're a really good woman, they're going to get out of a relationship and they're going to find another one immediately because they're a relationship woman. They know how to devote themselves, and that's all love is devotion. They know how to devote themselves very well to somebody else, and somebody else is going to see it and snatch it up instantly. And the same with guys that are good in relationships. Guys that are good in relationships, they don't stay single for long. A woman sees how hardworking they are, how well of a provider they are, they're snatched up immediately. So you just want to try to put yourself in those categories and not get stuck in the single category that everybody else is stuck in right now, which tons of people are. If we look at stats once again, 66% of men from the age of 18 to 30 are single right now. It's the opposite for women. Most of women, it's 66% of women are in relationship. Yeah. And the reason why it's like that is because in that bracket, most of the women from 18 to 29 or 30 are dating guys above 30. So there's a bunch of guys in that bracket that are losing. They can't get shit right now.
You gotta go younger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that's honestly the only answer. Yeah, for real. I want to know. This is something that like kind of I've been thinking about a lot lately. I think a lot of women are low key hookers. Like, and I'm not saying like they're actually like hookers, like they're actually just selling their pussy. But I think like the way they're exchanging things, like they're having guys pay for certain bills.
Modern day prostitution.
Yes,
Yep.
and I just want to know what is y'all's opinion on this? Do you think it's okay when a girl is like dating a guy and he just covers a certain bill, or when they have maybe multiple guys and certain guys cover certain bills or something like that? Like, do y'all think that that's just a modern day version of prostitution, or is that dating today? Personally, I don't do that, but yeah, what do you think?
It's both. It's modern day prostitution, but modern day prostitution now is dating. So you just have to go ahead and, oh, babe, I want a bundle. What you gonna do to get these bundles, sis?
That's
You
so
gonna drop and
scary.
give me 50 or what? It's literally a transaction, which sucks. Like,
It's becoming too transactional, huh?
when I think of a relationship, it's like, okay, I want my hair done. I'm gonna pay for it myself. But if he goes and does the gesture for me, I love that for me. You know what I'm saying? I love that for you, because at the end of the day, you might get something, you might not, but it's not you do something for me, you automatically get something.
I wonder if it's becoming more transactional because the free market pushes more in front of our eyes. Like, there's too many ads, there's too much shit to buy all the time. Like, or is it because we're transactional because we're doing so many more transactions? Like, there's so many transactions that we do now compared to 50 years ago. Is that why we're so transactional with it? I don't know. Some of that confused me a lot. What do you think?
I think that it's more transactional because a lot more people are living outside their means, and a lot more people have more access to different things. Like you said, all these ads and all these things. Like, back in the day, you saw what your neighbors had, and that was
your
it.
competition. Yeah,
That was your competition. You didn't see.
Now we're competing with millionaires on
you
Instagram.
didn't see all these millionaires and people that are not even in your tax bracket, have nothing to do with you. Like, why are you arguing about these people who don't care about your life?
Yeah.
So
Financially insecure like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're basing your relationship off all these other relationships that are purely transactional. Let me get this
And
BBL.
fake too.
Yeah, fake. Let me get this
Yeah.
BBL. Like, there's no real value added to the relationship.
Yeah.
It, like you said, it's all transactional, and that's very unfortunate.
No, I agree. What do you think?
So bouncing off of what they said, 100% agree. Be the word person to mention, like, I kind of blame COVID because everyone learned how to work for themselves online because they're at home, they got their jobs cut off, so they gotta get creative.
Yep.
So I feel like the OnlyFans
OnlyFans.
base, OnlyFans is going crazy, like because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, everything's transactional, it's inauthentic, and I'm not about that life.
I didn't even know that I didn't even know that the OnlyFans COVID thing was that bad. I just started doing media marketing for a certain club in Dallas, and like he was talking, like the GM was talking to me about how all the girls when COVID started, all the bottle girls went straight to OnlyFans, and like there was a huge, like we're talking a huge, like amount of people stopped going to clubs just because like those girls that were promoting every weekend went to OnlyFans and started making money that way off those simps, and it's like, this is crazy. I didn't even notice this, back then, but to hear it now, it's like, and then how there's still lasting effects from it. Like those women are still trying to do OnlyFans or something like that. So, wait, let me do this next super chat, bro. From Traditional Modern Talk. Thank you for the $2, bro. Important top 3 questions, no dating a guy. Important top 3 questions, no dating a guy. Yeah, what are the top 3 questions that you're gonna ask when you're going on a date with a guy?
Oh, that's a good question.
My top 3 would be, how is your family orientation?
Okay.
That's number 1, because family is important. Number 2 is, how did your last relationship end?
That is a good one.
And number 3 is, how are you financially? Are you like, I know people who have $2,000 bi-weekly, you paying $1,000, trying to be in a fancy house and paying $500, you left with $500 for what, 2 weeks?
And flexing for losers too at that. The funniest thing about flexing is like you're flexing for broke people usually. You're trying to look
No,
rich.
really.
You're trying to literally look rich for broke
Irrelevant
people.
people.
Yeah, it makes no sense. What about you? What's the top 3 questions?
I would say, what's your relationship with God? That's an important question for me. I would say, what's your vision, or do you know your purpose? Get into that. And then I guess, what's your gym regimen?
Oh, so you're a gym girl?
I'm a gym girl.
Are y'all both gym people too?
Yeah.
Just so the
4:30 in
the
the
audience can
morning.
know. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Damn.
It just depends how you're feeling that day.
Yeah.
What about you? What's the top 3 questions you're asking?
Top 3. I like to ask, like, what's their relationship with their mother? Because it speaks a lot for me.
That is a good one,
Like,
yeah.
like, how are you and your mom? Like, like, I don't judge. I like to keep it light and simple. I don't want to get invasive with the money, so I ask, like, what do you do for a living?
Smart. This is something I teach women all the time too. You can't ask directly, but you can get a good picture by just asking what the field is.
Right.
You can literally Google it afterwards and know exactly how much that field makes.
Yeah, but they could be doing poorly with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
you can have a good job, but how are you managing it?
Yeah. So like one of the big things I also preach on is like credit scores, 401ks. Like, of course, these are uncomfortable questions to ask, but you can say stuff like, "Do you have a tax deferred savings?
No.
Which one?"
You asked that on the first date?
Yeah, well, like, I'm not, so this is gonna sound controversial, but I honestly tell women to ask these type of questions on the first date because I honestly believe a guy that has his shit together is proud to answer them.
Yeah.
And this is how I've always been my whole life. I'm fucking proud to answer those type of questions because I'm doing good at them. It's like I'm waiting for the day for somebody to ask about it. And I don't believe in guys revealing things, like just telling how they are. I believe in the woman finding it out. Like I talk about things and then she talks about herself, like I'm not going to sit there and talk about myself. Like on a date, a guy should talk about things and other stuff and she talks about herself. And then when she wants to see it, like if you have a nice car, you don't tell her you have a Porsche. When the Porsche pulls up from the valet, she sees it. You don't sit there and fucking reveal it, Yeah, it's a goofy thing
all
that happens
talking,
a lot
all that talking, I don't believe none of it.
Yeah, it's so goofy, but that's what a lot of guys do today. It's sad. Did you say your 3 questions?
Oh no, the third question, keep it light. Like, what's your passion? What do you like to do for fun?
Yeah, hobbies, kind of.
Yeah, hobbies.
Yeah, this is another thing that drives me crazy. Because I coach a lot of guys. It's like none of them have fucking hobbies. And it's weird as hell to me because I'm huge on hobbies. Like my girl crochets, and like but like everybody should have a hobby in my eyes. Like it drives me crazy that people don't have hobbies
that brings
today.
you joy.
Especially today when there's so many things you can have a hobby in, and then there's subreddits for it. There's like all types of shit you can go look up to get better at it. Like this is the greatest time in the world to have a hobby. You can become the best at it. Like it's crazy.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.